Have you ever noticed that when a hero in an anime finally learns to fly, it feels like this huge epic moment? Well, there's a reason for that. It's so much more than just a cool power-up. It's a fundamental turning point in their journey. So let's break it down. When and how do they finally take to the skies? I mean, think about it. The dream of flying is something we all get. It's this deep, almost primal desire to just break free. And in the world of anime, this isn't just some fantasy. It's actually a really powerful storytelling tool that taps into our own hopes and dreams, which is exactly why these moments hit us so hard. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into the powerful symbolism behind flight. Then we'll look at how it works as this crucial rite of passage. After that, we'll break down how three legendary heroes each found their own unique way into the sky. And finally, we'll see how this one ability completely changes the game for their entire story. All right, first up, the dream of flight. See, before we can even get into the how they fly, we really have to understand the why. Because in anime, flight is this incredibly potent symbol. It's way more than just a convenient way to get from point A to point B. It really breaks down into three big ideas. First, you've got freedom, the idea of shattering all limits, both physical and mental. Then there's growth. Flight is like this giant flashing sign to the audience that our hero has officially hit a new level. And finally, there's transcendence. This is that moment of pure awakening, where they're not just beating an enemy, they're actually overcoming who they used to be. And that whole idea of transcendence leads us right into our next point. In anime, a powerless big is never ever just handed to someone. It's a true rite of passage. It's something that has to be earned, usually through some insane hardship. Yep, flight is almost always the prize at the end of a huge struggle. It shows up right after a hero pushes past their breaking point, overcomes some impossible obstacle, or finally defeats a major villain who is standing in the way of everything they believe in. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Heroes must earn their wings through blood, sweat, and tears. The journey to the sky is paved with sacrifice and grit, and honestly, that's what makes that final moment of triumph feel so powerful and so earned. So, getting the ability to fly becomes this massive milestone in the story. It signals that one chapter is closing and a whole new one is beginning. The hero isn't just more mobile now. They've leveled up, and they've accepted the huge responsibility that comes with that new power. Okay, this is the fun part. Let's look at three iconic heroes and check out their completely unique paths to flight to see how this all works in practice. First up, you knew we had to talk about him, Monkey D. Luffy. His Gear 5 flight is, well, it's not really about aerodynamics, is it? It's pure, unfiltered imagination. The guy literally runs on air and fights with this wild, cartoonish freedom that just shatters every expectation for how a character is supposed to move. But don't get it twisted, this wasn't some easy, overnight power-up. This was built on years of insane training, mastering Haki to prepare his body and spirit, and then being pushed, quite literally, to the brink of death and beyond against the seemingly unstoppable Kaido. He absolutely earned this. This table really lays out how creative the genre can be. You've got Luffy using his awakened devil fruit for this reality-bending, imaginative movement. Then you have an absolute classic like Goku, who masters his own life energy, his ki, so completely that the flight technique Bukajutsu becomes as natural to him as breathing. And finally, Naruto, who gets his ability to fly from the Six Paths Sage Mode, this divine power that blends his own chakra with the forces of nature itself. Three heroes, three totally different ways to own the sky. So now that we've seen how they get up there, let's zoom out a little. How does this one ability completely transform the story itself? Because believe me, it does. The second a hero can fly, the stakes just get astronomically higher. Battles aren't stuck on the ground anymore. Suddenly, the entire sky is the new arena, and that transforms these conflicts into something that feels truly legendary, almost mythic in scale. And the storytellers are so deliberate about this. Flight always gets introduced at a super critical moment for maximum impact. Just think about Luffy's Gear 5 reveal in Wano. His ability to suddenly fight Kaido up in the clouds was absolutely essential for that climax. It was a visual declaration that he was finally ready to take on a Yonko as an equal. And this is why these moments are so unforgettable for us. When a hero takes flight for the first time, it's the physical manifestation of hope. It's the culmination of every single struggle they've been through, all wrapped up in one pure, incredible moment of triumph. Which brings us right back to our original question. After all of this, the symbolism, the brutal rite of passage, the way it raises the stakes, why is learning to fly such a defining, game-changing moment? It's because of this simple, powerful idea. A hero doesn't learn to fly to escape their problems or run away from the world. They learn to fly to get a new perspective, a higher vantage point where they can finally see how to protect it all. And that is the true power of flight.